Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. And for this scene, it's going to be Dr. Mega contacting his dear friend Alicia, and he's invited her to his apartment just to talk over a few things. So he's called her up, and he's waiting for her to arrive.
And Alicia will ring the buzzer.
And rather than go buzz, I say that he buzz it if I did, but he'll let you in. So he'll let you go. So you basically go up the stairs, and then he opens the door for you. So,
Mhm.
oh, thank you for coming over. Come in.
That's okay. How are things going with you?
Things are fine. I mean, work's good, everything's good. I mean, how are things with you?
They're going pretty well. Yeah, I actually had something rather strange happen yesterday.
What do you mean by strange?
Well, I got 20 birthday cards in the mail, and then I went to meet this guy who is definitely a Garu and is definitely Child of Gaia. He says that he's my dad. So we've got to check that out with Chase of the Storm. But yeah, that's a bit weird.
Um, if you so you spoke with him.
Yeah,
Do you think he's your father?
he could be.
I mean, I'm sorry, I don't really know your family history. I don't want to intrude, but
My my mom died when I was very young. We didn't really know who any of my family is, so including her.
okay. So I'm sorry to hear that. But if he is truly your father, then I'm glad for you. But be careful. But he is Guru, then I assume.
Yeah.
And how are you going to check? You're going to do a blood test?
Oh, there's a ritual for it. I don't know the ritual, but I'm pretty sure Chases the Storm does. If he doesn't, we'll probably have to kind of wait until someone that knows it kind of shows up. But yeah,
Well, as long as he's not asking you for money, it can't be that bad. So if it's all love and hugs, go with it.
yeah, yeah, it's a bit odd, but you know, hopefully it is a good thing. And there's only really one way to find out.
Well, family is very important. So if you suddenly found some, then good for you. If you want them, that is. Would you like some coffee?
Um, I tend to avoid coffee, but if you've got some squash or something,
Would you like a glass of water?
yes, that would be great.
Fine. And with that, Megan will go over to the kitchen area next to the living room, and he'll just put on like the put on the water and like start make himself some coffee, pour you a glass, and then light himself a cigarette. So, I've been privy to some information about you.
Really? Um, it's not one of those lies about kind of breaking the litany and stuff, is it?
Not exactly, no. It's not any kind of malicious gossip behind your back. This could be a bit more serious.
Really?
Yes. And with that, he'll light a cigarette and continue making his coffee. I'm no expert on things, but I've heard that you know of another can within the city of New York, and it's associated with yourself and your mage friend.
Um, who said that?
I'm not at liberty to say I'm sorry, Alicia.
Okay.
But look, I'm telling the person that told me this told me because they knew that I wouldn't tell anyone else. And I'm not going to, well, apart from you, they're probably going to tell you, but you're my friend and you've been a guardian to me while I've been here in the city, so I thought I owed you that much.
Okay. Um, well, what did they say?
That, well, that you know that this thing exists and it is associated with the mages. And in a way, that could be seen as a breaking of the litany. So if it became common knowledge, you could get yourself in a lot of trouble. As the more extreme members of the set might just want to go in there and take it, I suppose.
Oh, you're not wrong, but it's not that simple either.
Nothing ever is that simple. Look, I'm sure if you're involved in this, you're doing it for the good of us. So I trust you, but I don't want to have any dirty secrets on you. That's why I'm saying it. And you can trust me. I'm not going to go around saying this to anyone else.
Well, yeah, I can trust you, but whoever this is has already told you. Who knows who else they'll go telling?
The impression I get is nobody. They don't want to cause a scene. They don't want to get anyone hurt. They don't want to start a war.
Hope so. They've been doing a lot of effort to avoid a war.
See, well, look, just I know this is very odd, and I know that it seems that I'm being horrible not telling you who told me, but don't worry about it if that makes any sense. I'm sorry.
No, I get why you don't want to tell me. I just kind of. Because I know that I can trust you not to go blabbing things, and thing is, I don't know if I can trust that person, especially if they're telling people that don't already know stuff.
It was part of a contract, the deal I have with this person.
Okay.
But and I think one of the reasons why they said this to me is because they couldn't say it to anyone else within the set, really. Look, come on, cheer up. You've got a frown on your face. I know you don't smoke or offer you a cigarette.
No, it's just it's one more thing that I need to worry about protecting from.
If I ever thought you was going to be in danger, I would protect you in my own way. I do all I could. I don't think you're in danger from this individual. If it changes, you'll be the first person I tell.
Thank you. It's not just them though. Like you said, if people find out about it, then they're going to want to take it over and do things their way. And they're not going to understand why we didn't do things that way to begin with.
I mean, forgive me for asking questions, but are you basically, I, if if you found a place where Gaia was reaching out to the world, you would protect it. So I'm assuming you're protecting this place. I'm assuming that anyone you're associated with isn't doing this place any harm.
Yes.
Well then, that's fine by me. But just, if one person can work this out, then other people can as well. So maybe just, if you don't expect it, just at least prepare for it if the worst does happen. But fingers crossed it won't.
Yeah, and I'm working on that.
Is this why you're so friendly with that mage friend of yours?
Partly.
And I assume he's more than a friend.
Um, sort of.
Well, if you do have feelings for this gentleman, just don't let that cloud your judgment over what you're doing. I'm sure you wouldn't.
No, it's not to do with him. He doesn't even kind of live there most of the time.
Okay. I mean, when you said, is this a place? Did you find mages that had this place?
Yes. It's not like I found the place and then said, hey, let's invite the mages over.
Okay. So the more rather than have everyone go there and tear them to pieces, you're trying to do this the third way, I suppose.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad. You've got nothing to worry from me. But is it going well? Or are your plans coming to fruition?
I wouldn't say fruition, but they're definitely um, starting to sprout. You know, definitely a lot earlier in the process, but it's going the right way.
And what's your long-term plan with this? Because eventually, someone, you obviously, I don't know how many people you're dealing with here, but someone else is going to find out eventually, whether it's on the guru side or it's on the mage side.
The mages all kind of know. That's not
Okay.
really the issue.
And they're fine with this with you.
Yeah.
I mean, bear in mind, the only mage I've met is a college gentleman the other day. He seemed okay, showed me the umber, but he was very fond of his drink.
Yeah. Um, well, Connor's very, very new at being a mage, I think. So, kind of falling over his own feet a bit. But, maybe someday he'll grow into it. But no, they let us move in, gave us Gave us rooms. Um,
Gave you rooms.
yeah, because there's a big house there.
Okay. It seems like these mages are being very chumming with you.
Yeah, it kind of helps that I kind of helped them out with the problem, and that was how I found the place.
And I'm sure they realize you're the easier guru to get along with, I suppose, in this situation.
Pretty much, which is why I'm the one dealing with it. But then not everyone kind of is likely to feel exactly the same way.
You can't please everyone all the time. Just
Precisely. So I think, I'm hoping that in a while we'll have better defenses, better everything, and I'll hopefully have got um, some more rank and stuff, and then maybe I could share the news with people without them going, "Oh, we've got to take it away from you because you're not big and important enough to deal with this."
what rank you now? You're clear, are you not? No, you're Foston, I'm sorry. Oh.
Yes.
What rank do you think you need to be to actually have some weight behind this?
I don't know, but at least Athro.
Well, you seem to be climbing the ladder pretty quickly, so it shouldn't take too long. If you keep making yourself as useful as you do and doing all the things you do.
Hopefully. But I think that's kind of, at the moment, that is what I hope as a plan, is is to get far enough that what the kind of arrangement that we already have that is for everyone's benefit can be backed up.
Any other ways you're thinking of backing this up?
Well, the thing is, it's all very well to claim territory, but if you're not kind of big and tough and high enough rank to hold on to it, then it becomes a problem.
Well, I suppose your current plan is the best one then. Just keep it quiet, keep it safe, and just wait till you're a little bit higher up the pole. I mean, you seem pleasant enough, but I know you fought the worm and fought some big nasties, so I'm sure you could defend yourself if you had to against one of us.
Yeah, against quite a few, but I sure as hell do not plan on taking on Blitzkrieg anytime soon.
No, you would be a bit of a challenge. But
And I'm sure there's plenty of others just as tough somewhere who would love to have a can.
would it really turn into that? Would it be just a big land grab?
I don't know. It wouldn't be if the person who took it over was strong enough. But if people thought that they weren't,
Well, that's our way, I suppose. Does Mother Larissa know of this place?
Oh, yeah, yeah, she definitely knows.
She does. So she's approving of you doing this.
Yeah. Um, I kind of think of it as being a bit like being an ambassador at an embassy. It's slightly different to having your own country. You know it's technically not a can, and therefore it's not a sept. So I'm not the alpha of a sept, which means they can't come and take it from me. Technically the mages, but only because people agreed that it needed the extra protection, and I'm the best person to get on with them to, to be the person doing that. So,
Well, if Mother Larissa's behind you, then you should have
yeah,
no problems at all, really.
Mother Larissa knows, and Blitzkrieg knows,
But
and
this is great known.
yeah, he doesn't entirely approve, but he doesn't disapprove.
Well, it seems like you've got less and less to worry about all the time. It seems like if this little bird that told me this causes trouble, they'll be the one that'd be in a fix, not you, if you've got the backing of Blitzkrieg and Larissa.
Like I said, not kind of approval, but not like full backing. But
They
even
know what you're
so,
doing, but they don't want to be held responsible for you if you're found out or if it goes wrong.
pretty much. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're not going to lie and say they didn't know, but um, let's just say it would probably cause trouble for them, but it would also cause trouble for me and for everyone.
Well,
You know, it would cause trouble for Blitzkrieg and Mother Larissa as well. And
well, if they're entrusting you to this, then they must have your respect. Well, they must respect you. Uh, and they must think you're very capable as well. Just don't fuck it up.
that was pretty much exactly the same thing that I was told. that that I seem to be managing quite well with it so far, but not to fuck it up.
But it's all good. And please don't look at me in a different light just because I managed to find out about this without you telling me.
No, no, like I said, it's just if I don't know who it is and if they're going to tell people, and also how they found out, because obviously it's quite tricky to make sure that nobody finds out stuff if you don't know how somebody has already found it out. I don't know.
I have no idea how they found it out.
But yeah, I'm doing my best and making progress, and it might not. I mean, I don't know what other people would be able to do. I might not be making as much progress and doing as well at it as various other people might do if they took it over, but the only way to find out would be to let them take it over and possibly wreck everything. So,
Well, just leave it with you for the time being. Especially if you're our ambassador to the mages, albeit unofficial.
pretty much. At least that's the way it seems.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad the way you responded. I'm glad you're doing so well.
I'm glad that you told me, not everyone else.
Oh no. No one tells me anything anyway. Why should I tell them anything? But
I'm I'm sorry I didn't tell you about it, but I think you probably know why.
no, fair enough. Although now I'm in the loop, if you ever do need my help with it, don't hesitate to call, even if it's for a more mundane thing, or even if it's an extra pair of eyes.
Yeah, I'll talk about it with a few people. Maybe,
Well, look, I'm not going to push anything on you. Just we'll leave it at that. See what happens.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm just thinking. I'd like to be able to take you out there and you could meet some of the people and see the place, but then that's more people who know where it is.
You could blindfold me, put me in the back of a van.
We could, but it would still. It's not the most normal of places. You'd probably at least have a rough idea of where it's likely to be.
Look, I'm not asking to be your second in command or anything, but if you ever need help, then just don't hesitate.
Yeah, yeah. No, I appreciate it. And like I said, thank you for telling me. And
You were the first guru I met in New York, and you've been my firmest friend so far. Hello? Hello? It seems like we've temporarily lost Alicia, although hopefully she shall be back soon.
I blame Google. Right. So anyway, back. Um.
After a long, quiet pause, they resumed conversation.
So I spoke to Black Unicorn.
Uh, Black unicorn?
Yeah.
Is it any different from a normal unicorn?
Yes. See, Unicorn is kind of Black Unicorn is part of Unicorn's brood,
Okay.
and he's a bit more martial and protective and stuff, a bit more warlike, but in an honorable and just way.
Sounds good. And if you talked to him recently, is it to do with your...
Yep.
I don't know what to call it. You say it's not technically a can.
The mages call it a node,
Okay.
which I figure is basically like a cairn, but it doesn't have a cairn totem, which is weird.
But if you've been speaking to Black Unicorn, is it to do with this
Yes.
cairn dash no? So, it, but so you're pulling a. Is it you pulling? I'm sorry, I'm very ignorant about these matters. I don't exactly know how it'll work.
Yeah, it's a bit confusing for me too. But we're going with asking, well, we went with asking him to be a guardian spirit rather than a cairn totem. Because if he was a cairn totem, it would make it a cairn, which would make it a sept, which would make for war.
And Black Unicorn was fine with this.
It took some convincing. Had to explain why we didn't want to take it over and make it into a sept and kick the mages out.
So it's fine with mages then. Obviously, I assume it's talking to them as well if they're there.
Well, like I said, it took some convincing. He did talk to them.
Did you have to feed it hay like I fed pelican fish?
No, I did bring some apples, but he didn't seem interested. So I didn't point them out. I just kind of left them near where he was going to appear and figured if he wanted some, he could eat some.
Oh well, he doesn't like apples. Who knows what the Black Unicorn eats?
This is true. I mean, probably not rainbows.
Who knows? When you guys jump into the armor, you can probably have rainbows for breakfast. For all I know.
Yeah, it's quite possible. I don't know.
But, well, if you've got a spirit
He was.
back
He was.
in Europe as well. Sorry, Alicia.
No, it's okay. Yeah, the spirit seemed to have pretty much a similar attitude. The whole you seem to be doing well, you seem to be making progress, you should make lots more progress, don't fuck it up kind of attitude. I'm not sure he thought it was the best idea, but he agreed to go along with it.
Well, there's no point just wasting all your time fighting people you don't have to fight. I mean, the mages are mages. I mean, they're got a horrible reputation of being counter rapists, but like you said, that's not all of them. They're not the main enemy here.
No, there is definitely one that we need to worry about, but I don't know enough about him yet.
Really?
Yeah, Black Unicorn said that there is one that is actively working against Gaia. Not the ones that I was talking with, a different one. And Jericho also said that there was someone who had returned that was likely to be something of a threat.
Returned? From where? Why, he just went away from New York and came back?
No, apparently he was trapped inside a node and got released, which I think might have had something to do with the stuff that has been going on lately with the change in the power levels and all the crazy stuff. I don't know.
He could have something to do with the storm, maybe?
I don't know.
And no one knows who he is.
No, I think Jericho knows a bit more about him than he said so far.
Maybe
But
he's trying to
then,
work out a way to get himself without involving you.
precisely. He's warned me but kind of more enough to be on guard than to actually go after anything. But
Okay.
plus we've got the storm to worry about. Once we've dealt with that, maybe we can look into this mage that, like I said, Black Unicorn says is a problem. Jericho says is a problem.
Well, if the spirit tells you, as well as
Yes,
the mage, then you know you have a problem, I suppose.
yes.
But with the storm, I still couldn't get over how big it was when I actually saw it, when Connor showed me. And just think that you guys can see it all the time.
Not exactly, but yes. We can see it any time, but not really all the time.
I just know it's there.
Yeah, and it is definitely a big priority.
Tell me so. Mages are still just people, aren't they? I mean, I'm basically a human, except I'm kinfolk. I've got, I suppose, scientifically more guru DNA in me than a normal person, and I can learn Gaia gifts. But a mage is still just a human that's a magic user, really.
Pretty much.
So they can be taken out by a bullet.
Like
I think we might have
some of
discussed this
them,
before.
yeah, some of them have apparently have some extra healing abilities, but it would definitely stand a good chance.
Well, hey, that could be more useful than you think.
Definitely when we find out who he is.
Although, I just think what a nasty mage could do.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about that too. But we need to put some more protections in and sort out this storm thing, and then deal with this mage, and hopefully by then I will have done some more work with impressing the Garu and the spirits. I don't know.
But, so, if you actually do attain a rank where you can gain the respect you need, and you have the spirits backing you up, you think it could be a, I don't know, like a common usage node?
Well, I think we could. I'm not sure, but I'm not sure whether it will work. But I kind of want it to be a place for people to work together. And yes, it can be a sept and be like, this is our Garu sept. But then the mages, I don't know. I kind of want to find out if the mages can be part of a sept.
I have no idea.
Because I know most septs wouldn't, let them anywhere near it. But I want to look into it. And I want to look into, like, if they can become, like, honorary kinfolk or something.
Don't you have to be born kinfolk to be kinfolk?
I don't know. Probably. But like I said, honorary. If they're
What?
honorary kinfolk, or like,
I'm sure there must be number of humans that know they have a wife or a husband that's a guru.
true. And they don't get affected by the delirium most of the time.
Oh, really? Mages?
Most of them.
Okay. Well,
I
there are the
did see
odd
one
normal
that freaked
people.
out a bit, but
There are the odd peer person that is not affected, isn't there, still?
yeah, but it kind of seems like the other way round. Rather than most of the people kind of freaking out and only like 1 in 1,000 uh, being okay, it looks like with the mages it might be the other way round, with most of them being okay. I don't really know how it works,
Okay.
but maybe they're just that kind of person who's more likely to become a mage. I don't know.
Even if they don't worship Gaia, they're still using her power to a point, I suppose. If they're using a can, call it a node, maybe
Yeah,
they have more of her in them than they think.
yeah, maybe because I mean, if they're using that essence, even if they don't understand it properly, they kind of are connected in a similar way.
And mages still don't like the big bad guys. They still don't like leeches. They still don't like all the worm nastiness, even though they don't go out and fight themselves, perhaps as much as the Guru do.
Yeah, I mean, you know how I said when I first found it, it was while I was helping them out with something.
Okay.
One of them, well, a couple of them were getting attacked by a bane.
It was you, wasn't it, that said someone got shot by a Bane from the Umbra?
Yeah, it was it was pretty much just after I became a Cleath.
Well, if Banes don't like them, then they can't be all that bad.
I think it varies. Like I said, there's the one that is a big problem, but then there's a lot of others that don't seem to be, that try and help. So kind of think that they're a bit like Garu that way. You know, most of them try and do good things, but obviously we kind of have a bit more of a connection with Gaia and a bit more of a society, I guess, to kind of guide people in how to do that, and they're a bit more lost. But they try and do the right things, most of them.
Well, at least that's something.
And then there's kind of like, but then some very small amount of Garu don't. They do bad things. And very small amount of mages probably do bad things as well.
Well, it's not known for Guru to turn to Worm and even join the Black Sparrow dance of their own accord. It's a sad thing, but it does happen.
Mostly I was actually talking about the Black Spiral dancers, but yes, it does happen.
In
Um,
my mind, Alicia, they're completely separate. I've been so used to hearing them as the enemy since I was a child.
well, they are the enemy. Doesn't change the fact that they are also Garu. They're just not. They're just like the twisted version.
True.
I mean, they still turn into Krino's form. They still have claws. They still. Okay, admittedly, some of them had horns, and that's a bit weird. But
I've heard that some of them can be quite civil, almost, as well. They're not all raging, rampaging beasts.
it's possible, I guess.
Still. Civil or not, they're still servants of the worm and they still need to be destroyed.
Yeah. So yeah.
I know that if they came for
Whereas
me, I'd put a bullet in my head before they could get me.
Might be better putting a silver bullet in their head, but yes.
If one can, one will.
Yeah. It's like all those people that say, I'm willing to die for my country, and it's like, that's not the aim. The
No,
aim is to make them die for theirs.
tell me something, Alicia. If, let's say, I did started to source silver bullets, would you keep that a secret from me? I know there's some girl out there that would hate it, that would take it away, even hurt me for it.
I would, I would definitely not tell anyone, except, well, I would recommend that you told Blitzkrieg, because he's the
Okay.
warden. But, but yeah, I wouldn't tell anyone about it. I think, like I said, Blitzkrieg, I kind of think that you should tell him if you're thinking about that. Um, if you are in fact doing that, um, I would prefer to keep plausible deniability if that's okay with you.
Oh, do good, and if you fuck up, I don't know about it, kind of deal. A bit like with
Well,
everybody
more,
else in you would be
more,
told.
more. If I'm asked about it, I won't have to lie.
Well, I haven't yet. I know that I can, and it's not even that expensive, to be honest. It's quite surprising.
Yeah, and I would definitely think that it is a good idea. But if you didn't want people to know, I am not the best liar. I can avoid stuff coming up, but if Blitzkrieg goes, "Do you know anyone that might be responsible for having shot this person with a silver bullet?" I'll be like, uh, probably not.
Oh, you're a little traitor. You're a little traitor. But never mind. I haven't done it yet, but I'm thinking about it. Because if there did end up being some kind of big war, I'd still want to do something, but obviously, toe to toe, I'm not very good. But I'm getting better with my gun. So,
Like I
if
said,
anything, I
I
could
think.
sit behind the lines and just snipe people, if anything, even if it just
Mm,
helped to hurt a few of them.
like I said, I think you should definitely do it, but I think you should definitely tell Blitzkrieg because
Maybe if I proposed an idea that we had them, but let's say maybe
kept it
Blitzkrieg,
theoretical until he said something first.
yeah, or we say that I want to buy them, I'll get them, but he keeps them and he hands them out when I need them. If they think I could go around shooting all of you in the back.
That's true. Or, you get like one clip in case of emergencies, but then he keeps most of them in case of big fights.
I was thinking more of actual, well, still clips, I suppose, really. But I'm gonna buy a rifle and start practicing with that. There's a shooting range not far from Central Park, actually. It's been there since the '60s.
Well, yeah, I definitely think it's a good idea, and I definitely wouldn't kind of tell anyone on you, but I don't think he'd have a problem with it, if I'm honest. I think he would support kinfolk being able to protect themselves.
Well, I hear he has himself a kinfolk himself. You look a little blank there, Alicia.
Um, yeah, I got this weird text message, but
What
I
do you
don't really know
mean?
much about it yet.
Well, I've heard that he has a kinfolk sent over that he's going to marry. Bettina, she's called.
Fair enough. Seems a bit sudden, but if that's what
I,
he wants to do.
I think it might be a case of, from my experience with arranged marriages, it's usually the families involved, not the people who do it. He might not even known about it. I don't know how to do this kind of thing.
Well, I tell you one thing. If my new dad tries any of that stuff, it will not happen. Be like, no, no, that is not happening.
Oh, you
Cannot
got a
just
nice
walk into
Vienna
my
kinfolk
life.
boy.
Cannot just walk into my life a few weeks before my 21st birthday and then sell me off to marry some person. I don't know.
Would your dad do that?
I don't think so.
Well, how do you children of God do this kind of thing? I assume you're a little bit more free-willed than others.
Yeah, I don't think many do. Of course, individuals can never be entirely judged by the whole, and vice versa. So possible, but it does seem unlikely.
They can, but usually people do follow their family's traditions in the end.
Yeah, but I don't quite plan on telling him about Jericho yet.
Oh, okay. Well, if I ever bump into dear old dad, I won't say anything.
I mean, it's bad enough Travis has gone and talked to him.
Oh, Travis, he didn't do anything to hurt him. He was just probably being acting like a big brother to you, like you act like as a big brother, a little big sister to me sometimes. Just being protective. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's just not sure whether that was the impression he gave Jericho.
Oh, come on. He just enjoyed scaring the shit out of him, probably, for one evening.
Yeah, possibly. But considering he's already had to deal with Travis, I don't think he needs another random werewolf showing up.
Yeah.
Going, rah, 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 rah. Don't go doing anything to upset her. Rah, 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 rah.
Well, I
I
can
don't know. I
imagine.
don't know how the conversation went. I get the impression it involved lots of drinking, and I don't know. Travis is in our own. It may or may not have included talk about claws.
Well, rather Travis than, like you say, Blitzkrieg. God knows what he'd do.
Blitzkrieg met Jericho actually.
Oh, did he? What did he think of it?
He seemed to get on okay with him. He doesn't know about the dating yet though. But I'm trying to keep that quiet because it seems like a lot of people are a bit judgmental at the moment.
They're always going to be judgmental. If you guys are going to pursue this, you're going to have to get over that.
I know, but maybe not during the first month.
They
Maybe
probably
wait till things go a bit more before other people get.
Well, at least you've had your first change before this all happened. Otherwise, you might get a very big surprise.
Oh, very true.
Good.
And he has actually seen me in Greenhouse Farm and not run away screaming. So
Really?
yeah, I'm not sure that he liked that particular form much,
What
but
does he think of you in Glabro?
not much. I think rather understandably, I think his favorite form is Homid.
Well, just make sure you don't change shape in your sleep. Otherwise, you might wake up next to something a little bit scary.
That's true, but I haven't really shifted in my sleep so far.
Good. I'm sure some guru must do.
Probably. Especially the ones for whom shifting kind of comes as naturally as it does for like Blitzkrieg.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he can do this weird sort of shift thing where his hands shift and then it goes up his arm and then it goes down the other arm.
I have noticed that actually. It's usually when he gets a little bit annoyed.
Precisely. So if that kind of happens when he's annoyed, then what if he has a nightmare?
Wow. I don't know. I'm sure Bettina can handle it.
Oh, I hope so. But yeah, no, I was just saying I've never had to worry about that. Go to sleep in Homid form, wake up in Homid form. Go to sleep in lupus form, wake up in lupus form.
Really? Have you never gone to sleep in Hamid and woken up as a wolf somewhere in the forest?
No.
How often do you change into lupus, by the way?
It varies. At least once a week.
Is it just to keep it fresh? So you actually...
Well, partly, but we tend to, as a pack, go for a bit of a run once a week. So I might end up turning into lupus other times, but at least once a week we kind of go for a bit of a run.
Okay, that must be a fun thing to see. Do people wonder why these big dogs are running around New York?
We do it in the Umbra.
Ah, okay. I'm sure we're scaring all the spiders on those buildings.
Plus, we don't actually do it near the spiders. But but that's down to location. But yeah, so a bit of a run. It's always fun.
Well,
Regular cleansing and nice big pots of spaghetti.
why spaghetti?
Well, whatever we end up feeling like eating that day.
Well, it seems like your pack has got a little bit of a laissez-faire attitude to things than most others, if you have these nice little group pursuits.
It's good. It's kind of team building stuffs.
How many people have you got in the dogwood pack at the moment?
3.
So it's you, there's Donald, of course, and then who's this third?
Keegan.
I don't think I've met Keegan.
I'm not sure if you have. He tends to spend most of his time elsewhere at the
Fair
place
enough.
with the thing.
At the what? With the what?
At the place with the thing.
Oh, okay. Right. Well, good. At least you got someone there keeping their eyes on it. Hello?
Hello.
Sorry, I thought you cut out then for a second.
No, sorry about that.
That's cool. Well, thank you for coming over, and thank you for taking this so well. I'm sorry to have to ask you to leave now, but I've got a busy day tomorrow, and I need some sleep.
Oh no, that's okay. And thank you for all of this as well. And like I said, you should definitely see about talking to Blitzkrieg about those.
Well, I've not managed to meet the man yet myself, so I should have a formal introduction, I suppose.
Apparently I'm on dojo repair duty. I don't know what has happened to his dojo, but
Okay.
it looked somewhat messed up. So, I probably have to go as well.
Well, I hope you enjoyed your water. Next time I'm gonna make sure I have some fruit juice or some orange squash or whatever for you when you come around.
Thank you. I
Any
don't
other
like
drinks you
coffee.
like? Not fair enough. Any other drinks you like or snacks?
I'm fairly easygoing. Like I said, except for coffee, tend to like most things.
Good. Well, there'll be something more than water for you next time you come here. Thank you for coming.
Okay. Um, and I will see you later. Bye.
Bye. And with that, Megha will let her out of his top floor flat, and she'll go out into the night.